One of the most dangerous illusions Americans are living under today is the belief that safety is ambient, existing automatically everywhere and at all times. For decades, we have been trained to assume that public spaces are fundamentally benign, and that vigilance itself is somehow antisocial or unnecessary. That assumption is no longer valid.
Given the size and weight of the SAR K2 45, it is a pleasurable pistol to shoot. At 3 pounds, 2.2 ounces fully loaded with 13 rounds of 230 grain ammunition, and with a 4.7-inch barrel, it is also a handful to hold. For me, the K2 45 feels more like a Beretta 92 FS or M9. My hands favor the substantial grip. Let me expound a bit on the double action to single action transition. With the pistol in double action, the hammer fully down, the trigger travel is long until the hammer falls and the pistol is forced into single action mode. If you begin the double action trigger pull with the hammer at the half cock position, the transition to single action is quicker. This is because that the hammer has a bit less distance to travel than when the hammer is fully in its rest position against the firing block. As mentioned before, when pulling the trigger from the fully rest position to the half cock position, the half cock position is somewhat of a staging point. I can pull the trigger with the hammer at its full rest position until the half cock position is felt. Then by relaxing the trigger finger momentarily, I can use this half-cock position to take a final sight picture before again re-engaging the trigger to complete the firing cycle. While this may slow the trigger pull cycle down a bit, it can make for a more accurate shot, and you will see me use this staging point at times during the session. So, let's see how the SAR K2 45 and I work together. Upon returning the K245 to its rightful owner, I informed him of the pistol shooting high and that I had adjusted the rear sight all the way down, which did not help, and of which brings up the topic of sight height. There is a calculation to determine the correct front sight height, and I am showing that right now. However, the explanation of how to determine the correct front sight height is too long to discuss right now and could be a topic for a future video. Most, if not all, manufacturers install the correct sights, even adjustable, that will have the correct range of adjustment for normal shooting distances according to the firearm's type. Let me explain. For handguns, target distance can be based on just about any range. While 20 yards is a good distance to use, the industry standard is usually at 25 yards. The target distance will usually vary based on the handgun type, target, carry, compact, etc., and shooter's preference. The main concern is that you are shooting tight, consistent groups before considering any changes to sight height. Suffice it to say that this K245 could use the correct front and rear sight combination to get bullet impacts back on track. But then again, it could have been the shooter, me, and that's enough said about that. With the CZ97B no longer available, the SAR K245 might just be an answer to your .45 caliber double-stack, double-action, single-action pistol needs. What you will have in the SAR K245 is a heavy-duty pistol built for heavy-duty use that can contain 13-plus rounds of highly accessible heavy-duty ammunition, the .45 ACP. The SAR K245 was built for long life service, and one should serve you well in that role. It is time, once again, to close this chapter of the Range Ronin Chronicles. Hope we will meet again soon, as I hope to continue bringing high-quality, informative firearm reviews to your YouTube doorstep. Until we say hello again, stay vigilant, stay armed, and stay safe out there.